Hello, everybody, and welcome to Success with SASS. I am Crystal Clifton, and this show is about how you can build an incredible business as a small business owner and a woman in business and feel successful, alive, and sexy smart. So every week we are diving into all the amazing aspects of running a business, tips and guests that will show you incredible ways that you can overcome what's blocking you and really truly move your passion into action and have success on your terms. That was one thing that I really wanted this show to be about. Hi, Lamar, welcome, and hi, Normand. I apologize, I'm a few minutes behind today because I attempted to use some new software, and it was so interesting on a day that I talk about distractions. I went down the rabbit hole for the last 3 hours of completely looking at how I could do new software with live cams. So it's so entertaining when you tell the universe, I am going to work on distraction, and then suddenly you are distracted yourself. So not only is this show needed for you, but this show is needed for me and reminding. So welcome, Hugo. This show, again, the Success with SASS show. SASS is about being successful, alive, and sexy smart. Now, it is about being sexy and soulful with your business, because the true meaning behind business is how you can have an incredible connection to yourself, those around you, and stand up for something that matters. So we will learn through this show on how to build success on your terms. Hi, Harold. Welcome. So if you know somebody who's a small business owner, especially women in business, I have so many amazing tips and tools that are going to be not only for small business owners, but women in business. I truly, truly want to reach as many people as I can. This is a completely free show. So ask questions along the way, tag people who want to join in, anything that you guys need. You guys were so responsive. I had so many incredible ideas and insights that people really gave for their productivity tips. So let's dive in, because one of the number one things that we talked about last week was one of the 3 Ds. Now, we talked about being dumped last week. Let's review, because there's 3 Ds that I always coach my clients on, the 3 Ds that threaten their success. It's being dumped, meaning that your clients or your team is always turning over, and the feeling of being dumped isn't so great. And we talked about how we can really, really keep our team and our clients engaged. This second D is distraction. That's this week. How many of you feel distracted? Does anybody feel like they cannot do what they need to do in one day? As I was just saying, this day alone has completely engaged in all of my levels of how to stay focused. But I want to know if I'm alone in this, because if I'm the only person that ends up feeling distracted, then this show obviously is just for me. But as business owners, or even if you're not a business owner, do you struggle? Right, Lamar, always. I remember hearing this incredible, it was one of those moments where they just mentioned briefly at one of my conferences that in today's world, we receive more information in an hour than you did in a month just 50 years ago. Meaning that we have so much going on all the time between technology, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, emails, that it's completely distracting us. Hello, Valerie and Donald and Filippo. I wanted to welcome new people. If you are new to the SASS show, this is a show about being in business and how to do it from a place of not only building success, but feeling alive and sexy smart. So we will completely every week dive into tips in all those areas. Today's about distraction, how to be smart and productive. And we were just describing how in today's times that there is more going on every single hour than 50 years ago you had coming at you in a month. One thing that I really want to express is that it's important to understand why we feel overwhelmed. We actually have this beautiful brain that is not meant to completely look at, absorb, and make decisions constantly all the time. Your brain is a muscle. So one thing that I really want to be clear about is that one of the reasons we feel overwhelmed is because we're in constant overload. We are constantly looking at whether or not we think so consciously, even unconsciously. Our brain is using glucose and power to make decisions even when it looks at a photo or a post. It decides if something's relevant or not relevant. Your brain is your complete, if you will, operating system. So the overwhelm is real because we do not know where to go, and our brains are actually rewiring. We talked a couple weeks ago about what the average attention span is. Does anybody remember when we talked about that? If you tuned in 2 weeks ago, does anybody remember what the average attention span is nowadays? A couple people were guessing. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Diana. Charles, Donald. Does anybody want to take a guess? This fact was so scary when I discovered this. I'll give you a hint. It used to be 30 years ago that our attention span matched for how old we were every minute for the year we lived, meaning that if you were 5, you had a 5-minute attention span. If you were 10, 10, 20, so on. And with technology, because we are completely using our minds and our brains consistently, we actually are seeing the mind and the brain completely rewire the connection so that we're looking at a 6-second attention span. 6 seconds. That scares me. So when we have a shorter attention span and we have a larger sense of overload, how are we going to feel like we can be successful today? Because we don't have the opportunity to really do everything we feel like we need to be doing when we are constantly distracted. When we are distracted, it doesn't serve the purpose of success. When we are distracted, it serves only the stress level and not our true purpose. So one of the number things that we are going to look at today, I wrote it on the board. So if you guys, can you guys see the backboard? I don't know if you guys can see my little whiteboard. I finally hung it. It was in the box a couple episodes ago. So the first thing that I want to really express to you is that successful people think differently about their day. They don't go into overwhelm because they know who they are. I know that doesn't sound important, but it's one of the key foundations, meaning that when you really know who you are, let me explain how this works. Are some of you morning people and some of you eat maybe more night owls? I personally know that I'm a night owl. I know, and that's why I love the hospitality business. I knew that I could absolutely work 3 to 11, no problem. I know that my productivity kicks in around 10 a.m. and can go until 10 p.m. And I know that I work in very intensive bursts, that I can do 4 hours worth of work intensively. So one thing that I really want to express is that you need to know who you are. I want to totally encourage you to not only know who you are, but own it. Because there's such a power in that, and it makes so much more sense when you look at your day from who you are, not who you should be. How many of you are tired of completely feeling like you have to take a shot of Comparomeister to see what everybody else is doing? How there's one size fits all for how to be more successful, how to be more productive. I can't do it. I can't work off of 5 hours of sleep. I can't drink coffee all day long. I can't. That's not who I am. But I look at other people who know that, and they absolutely can work that way. Excuse me. So I want to really let you know that we are not equal. We are uniquely different, and that's our beauty, and that's our power. So know who you are is absolutely the first step to make sure that you don't get distraction. Because sometimes the number one thing that we get distracted by is thinking different. If you know that you're not a morning person, don't schedule your day every day to do your most productive hours in the morning. Do not schedule your time to be focused all the time in the morning if you know that you're a little bit out of it and you need time to wake up. If you are a morning person, then make sure you are scheduling it then. We'll go some more tips at the end. But I really want to be clear about this, because if you know who you are, that is the number one power to keep you from distraction. And just be it. I know when I suddenly get distracted and I try to say, oh yeah, I'll be there by 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and I'll get all this done. I can do it, but it's not going to be my best self. I know that when I really schedule something at my peak time, that's when it's going to work. Now, here's a really important thing, is that I absolutely know my purpose and my mission. My mission when I had Palmina Winery and I had Brewer Clifton Winery, they were completely focused on how to create memories and how to be the voice of the region. Those were incredible missions, and that vision meant that that's how I led my team, that's how we led our decisions. Now my mission is to absolutely ignite success in as many small business owners as possible and truly teach women and empower women in business to create success on their terms, to not lose their femininity like I did when I was running my business. And to do it with a sense of sass, because I want you to own who you are, right? That's really who the SASS is for, is own who you are, be sassy about it. But when we really look at why we're doing something, this is key. Because opportunities will come every day, all the time. But you need to know your mission, you know why you're doing it. Your purpose and your mission is mandatory. It absolutely matters. If you know your purpose and your mission, then you can make decisions around your day based off of that. Now, I will tell you that it also means that you have to learn how to say no sometimes. Because no might be saying no to somebody, but it might be saying yes to you. One of the key things about your mission and your why is that you don't need to be something for everybody. You need to be something for someone. So when you're in a business or you're a leader of a business, you don't need to be operating out of a mission for everybody and every single customer and every single minute of the day. But every day you need to clarify what your mission is. You should have two things, your overall mission and your day mission. And then you need to work it. This is the third thing. This is incredibly important. How many of you show up and you already feel behind? That you click on your inbox and you already feel like, oh my gosh, I already have this many emails. In fact, if I looked at my inbox right now, actually I should screen share because it's really disturbing. I have thousands of emails that are unopened. Thousands. A lot of it's spam, but it doesn't matter. It's still distraction. And so I absolutely work it. I know that every morning, even if it's not my most productive time, I do not check email. I focus on me. And the days that do completely get out of control are the days that I open my inbox and I become involved in everybody else's schedule. I don't own me. When you own who you are and then you own why you're doing something and then you work it, it means that you don't let your inbox determine your day. Now let's talk about tips and how this works. When you focus on you, wake up every morning. For me, let me walk you through my day. I wake up every morning. I know that if I don't get a workout in before 9 a.m., it's not going to happen. It's just not. I'm not going to go, 5 p.m. and do workout. That's not who I am. I completely know who I am. I know that for my body and my mind to be completely focused on my day, I got to work out absolutely before 9 a.m. Why? Because I also know that that's important to me. My workout is my mission to stay healthy and to be able to keep up with my 2 boys and to be able to have the sense of energy and to be able to have fresh energy for my day. Then right after my workout, even when I'm nasty and sweaty, I don't shower. I sit down and I look at what are the 3 things I need to accomplish for the day. Just 3. Now these aren't tasks because tasks are It's not a task, it's a project, meaning what are the 3 things you want an outcome? Now, for me, it's creating the Facebook Live show, for instance. There are a lot of tasks behind that. There's a lot of work that I had to, that I went through this morning thinking that I was going to be able to get all the software updated and really get it together. I didn't write out every single thing as an absolute overwhelm my to-do list. I knew Facebook live show, and I knew that that was my major thing that I had to do today. And then I focused on my other thing that I had to do today. So I have 3 major projects. Let me give you a for instance. If I knew that I had a website and there's things I need to make sure that happen on the website, and I knew I have a product launch, and I knew I have a Facebook live show. Well, what I would do is every time, I actually have a productivity sheet that I'm going to share with you. When I wake up every morning, right after I work out, I just write the 3 things I want to make sure I accomplish in the day, and then I write down all the sub things that need to happen for that thing to accomplish. And then I make sure that I schedule those 3 things in my most productive hours. Because absolutely, I know who I am. I know that if I tried to start scheduling that at 9 a.m., it's not going to be for me. I know that from 10 o'clock on, from 10 to 4 is when I'm going to be probably most productive. That's when I'm scheduling those things. Now, when I schedule those things, that means that there is no email. My Facebook is off. My email is off. Because my mind needs to be productive. My mind needs to have the fuel to get in the zone. So again, if you exhaust your brain by looking at a bunch of posts and tweets and alerts, you actually are you truly are using the glucose and the power, and you start losing the willpower to make really clear, conscious decisions. So stop browsing in the hours that you know you are peak. If you know you are a high performer from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. or from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., don't allow email or any other technology alerts to come in. I hope that maybe something like the Success for SASS show is absolutely one of those things that are going to keep you in line, because I don't want you to make decisions. This is a place where you get to fuel your brain. But I want to make sure that you turn off anything that completely distracts you and takes away your willpower. You don't have to completely work 8 hours a day. In fact, they're showing that studies where people are working 8, 12, 15 hours a day even, when people are saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a hustle, I'm a this, that the productivity tends to be between 5 to 6 hours a day. Because after a while, even though you might be producing results, there is a peak in which your brain allows you to make clear decisions. And everybody's body and mind operates at a different level in a different time frame. So once you know that, then put that in line with why you're doing something. And make sure that you are able to say no. Own your day. Just don't show up and let other people tell you what your day's about. Because if you let other people tell you what your day's about, and that might just be from an email perspective, then you are going to be chasing everybody else's why, vision, and plan. And you're going to build success for somebody else. This is a success show about how you can build success. Don't build it for other people. Now, I'm not saying completely ignore your emails, but what I am saying is focus just 2 hours a day on your email. Focus in the morning, right after you've taken the time to chunk out when you are going to get things done. And so for you, if it's, hey, I need to make sure that I am completely focused on these 3 things, and that requires me to do email beforehand, do that. But don't go into email for more than an hour. Almost set a timer. Make it a game. Say, okay, what can I get done in an hour? Because if you completely start sectioning your time and time chunking it and not just letting it be where it's this huge ocean wave of everybody else's desires, needs, wants, information, and newsletters. Say, this is my 1 hour. What do I need to get done? Then have your focused 3 to 5 hours. I take the 3 things I want to make sure I get done, and I focus 45 to 90 minutes on those subjects. If I know I need 2 hours, then I will do it. One of the number 1 things I always do, though, this is key, is that you set a timer to move your body. Super important. So if you only focus on these 3 to 5 or 6 hours, let's say max, where you're really in the productive zone, you need to move your body every hour. I'll show you something. So if you are sitting down at your desk all the time and you know you just need to move your shoulders, tap on yourself, get your lymphatic system moving, and take deep breaths, because what's happening is that your brain needs to stay fueled. And sometimes people think they're exhausted and they start drinking coffee. It's just your body sitting still. The circulation isn't going. So if you move your hands and you move, I actually move my ankles, I do a whole breathing technique. And even my incredible production team, they've caught me on video. I do handstands to get fresh blood to my head in the middle of the day. And that's a fun, silly thing, and not everybody can do that, especially if you're commuting around, like my beautiful Elizabeth who joined, who is an incredible real estate agent. I'm sure you're busy, Elizabeth, right? Zooming around, taking care of all these other people. So making sure you do it where you have the time chunks and saying, okay, this is when I'm going to sit in the computer, but making sure you don't just sit still for over 45 minutes. Your brain will lose its willpower, and you're going to make not so great decisions all the time. So to really keep your success going, you really want to make sure that you don't try to be somebody different than who you already are. Own you. Be the best version of yourself. I know that there's no way I could do a 9 a.m. show. You guys wouldn't get a great version of myself. Actually, 10 p.m. version is probably what you is where I would probably be living it up with you. But not everybody wants to tune in at 10 o'clock at night. And why? Why do I do this show, or why do I do anything I do? Because I really believe that there is an opportunity to create incredible businesses that are successful, to touch other people's lives and create a business that matters and success on your own terms. And when I work it, that means that I absolutely know after I work out, I sit down, I say, what are the 3 things I have to do today? And once I know that, I make sure I plan 3 to 6 hours just around those 3 things. And then I bookend my emails. I don't let my emails own me. I only focus on 2 hours a day of email. Otherwise, it's a complete distraction. So if you really wanted to look at what you had, if you talk about a traditional 8 hours, what are the 6 hours that you really are most productive? If it's in the beginning, focus there. If it's in the afternoon, focus there. And then email is a time for you to know what you need to be doing, because you also might say, hey, you know what? My priority needs to change today. But just focus on a per project basis. Don't try to be everything to everybody. Now, anybody who is new to the show, I have to welcome so many things. Brittany, I miss you. There's Dean, Alberto, and Amy Chapelet. Sister, we have to get together for a glass of wine. Harvest has started. Megan, Jerry, Shrikan, I'm so happy. I missed you. I was just thinking of our Venice experience recently. George, Mark, Reed. Oh, Reed, I have so much to catch up with you on. So welcome to the show if you haven't been here before. I have a productivity planner that really allows you every day. It's what I use every day to write out how I'm most productive and how to stay focused. And I actually carry it around with me. I have that for you. If you are on my email list, you are going to get that email this week. If you're not on my email list, please, right now, go to the website. I'm going to actually type in the website. And you can sign up. And if you sign up, not only will you get one of the incredible things we talked about last week, which was the 7 keys to get high-paying clients, but you will get the productivity planner this week. So go on, sign up. If you know somebody else who could definitely use a free productivity planner, this is what I use every day. I absolutely live by this. So if you want that, sign up. I'm sending that out this week to anybody on my mailing list because it's really key that in today's times, you don't feel distracted. Now, does anybody have any other ideas? I saw some, I do have to tell you, there's my good friend, Andre Mack. We were on Facebook and we talked about how if I catch myself not being productive, do you want to know what I do? This is a real moment here. I have this rubber band. When I am not being productive, and sometimes I get in a trance, either I'm thinking negative or I suddenly look and go, oh my gosh, I set a limit and I totally ignore the timer. I snap it. I do snap this. Andre is a doll and he just said, I wear rubber bands and I snap them. You know what? If you have something that simple, do it. Just keep yourself in the zone, because what it does, it actually brings you back to the present moment. It's so easy right now where we tune out, we go into trance all the time. And a lot of you don't know this, but I'm a certified hypnotherapist as well. And one thing I see is people get scared about hypnotherapy, but in reality, there's more people in trance every day, just zoning out while they're driving or texting or swiping right on a dating app or looking at Facebook apps. They're in a trance. They're not present. So if it's a simple thing as snapping your wrist to get you back in a present moment, just remind yourself, what is my vision today and why am I doing this? And it will completely remind you to own your day. Now, I also have some very exciting news. Last week, we launched the website. Very excited about that. This week, I have 10 spots that I was able to work out an incredible deal with my production team. We put together a full ClickFunnels just with 10 spots to pre-sell my upcoming course. I will be posting about that later. For those of you who know somebody who truly wants to get ahead in business, this course that I'm launching called SASS, Success, Alive, and Sexy Smart, is really geared towards women in business who want to increase their profits, their passion, and their influence without losing their feminine power. It has been a journey of my own to work on this project for 2 years. The real course with the business breakthrough training is coming out in 2 weeks. But I do have a sneak preview and a special offer for 10 people. So stay tuned for that. If you know somebody who's interested in that, because there is only 10 spots, please let me know. Have them instant message me, and I will also be sending a link out. I am so incredibly honored that you guys are here. And if you sign up for the mailing list, you will get the productivity planner. And as we continue every week to be focusing on success with SASS, this is about how to be successful, alive, sexy, smart. Every week, Wednesday, 12 p.m., join me. I'm really excited because I have some pretty special guests that are lined up for the weeks to come. I cannot wait to share them. Everything from, I guess I could share a little bit, but everything from about how to make sure that you can get high-paying clients to how to completely be in your zone. I also have this beautiful woman who talks about how to get soul stamina in your business. Do manifestations work? I mean, this is a journey not just for you, but for me too, because I'm surrounded by the most inspirational people all the time. And I want you to learn from them just like I have. So thank you for joining Success with SASS. This was the episode 4. I will be here Wednesday next week with another week's episode that will be just about discounting and why you can actually run your business without running to the bottom. I want you to learn next week about how to look at the bottom line and stop discounting. So, tips against distraction. Who are you? Know who you are. Why are you doing it? What's your vision and your plan so you will say no to anything that doesn't serve your mission, and work it. Work 3 to 6 hours in your zone that is absolutely your most productive time so you do not lose your energy. Do not overwhelm your brain. Own it. Work it. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day. Dance the rest of your Wednesday. Have a great day and a great rest of your week.